Okay, first things first. Before doing anything with Git version control system, we must install Git into our operating system. Here I am with the browser of Google Chrome, and in my search engine I type Git. And as you can see, I go to the first option. This is the official website, and I just go, and inside that we can see the downloads button and the other details as well. So my operating system is an Linux version Ubuntu, so I see the download button here as download as Linux, but don't worry, this is available for all the other operating systems, popular operating systems, Windows and Mac. So if you go to downloads, you can see macOS download, Windows and Linux. So this is just a simple download and install options. You can just go next and install it. So I have already installed that one. I hope you can do the installation part of your own. And yes, that's all. Once you install, we can start with Git operations. So after you have installed Git into your system, you can see whether it's installed. You can just go to your favorite command line. In my case, I'm using Terminator. Since I have the Ubuntu operating system, I like this very much. Anyway, in your operating system, you can just type Git version, and you should be able to see the version right here. So which means you have successfully installed Git, and we can just work around with the Git. To get started, let's go and create some folder and init Git and do some practice on the basic Git workflow that you know, init, add and commit, right? Okay, so I'm going to my workspace and I'm going to create a folder there. So we'll say add git test, and I will be going inside that folder. Now I will create a file. So for that I'll use my touch command, index.html, and I will open this file using my favorite code editor, Visual Studio Code. And in this index.html, I will type some kind of a code. For example, I'll say M1. So that's a wonderful code. Anyway, don't care about that much. We'll go to Git. And first thing is to initialize Git right here in this folder. If you take a look at here, I have only this file index.html. So I'm going to init Git here. For that one, we just have to use the command git init. So this will init this will initialize some files inside the git test folder, and it will convert this folder as the master branch. So master branch is kind of the main branch of the Git workflow. Alright, initialize an empty Git repository. As you can see, I have changed to a branch. So in this, the master branch is displayed right here. I'll clear the command line, and the next basic command that you should know is in the git status. So when you type git status in the command line, you will be able to see all the changes that has been done to your folder. Right now I have added the index.html file, and it says it is an untracked file, which means it is not yet included into the Git workflow. So we have done the first thing in the basic Git workflow, that is git init, and the next thing is git add. So when you do a git add, what happens is it will create a staging area where we can keep our changes in a place, like it will save those changes in a place, and once it's saved, we can just add a message and do something else. We'll talk about that one later. Anyway, so we'll add them, git add, and here we can type the file name, or if you have multiple files to be added into the Git, we can just type dot. or else we can type the file name. So here I will type the file name index.html. Right, it's added. So once it added, because I'm using OMyEZSH plugin to my terminal, I will see all the changes that I do in Git. So here we can see the branch name and the plus sign, which shows that I have added the files. So if I go and do a git status command again, now this file is added to a staging area and it is in the green color. Previously it was in red color. Okay, so now the second part is also done. First init, then add, and finally we have the commit, which means we save this one in the local repository, in the local Git workflow, right? So we have commit. So commit is the command. After commit, we can give a message and like saying what we do. So we can just enter here if you are having multiple, if you are having multiple commits to do, which means multiple lines. Like if you explain the work that you have done in multiple lines, you can just go and hit right here. Then you can like do this stuff 1, 2, 3 likewise. Okay, or else you can just put a single line sentence right here. Just put git commit -m, and within the commas, inverted commas, we can give the message. So I'll say m1. So here my code is equals to my commit. So we will understand the Git workflow very well. That's why I use like that. Okay, commit. Now your changes are committed. So we have initialized the Git and we have added the things into the Git workflow and we have committed. So the basic Git workflow is done, and here you can see actually the master branch is committed with one file change and the file is index.html. So that changes are there. And I'm going to clear the screen right now to check the things that I have done in the Git. And there's another command. I love this command. We have git log. So here we can see the history, like we can track the history, that the things that we have done. So here in this time I have added a commit to the master branch with the commit sentence. Here we have m1. Okay, so that's the basic Git workflow.